Welcome back, Summer Signing Series. Reading Royals here at Santander Arena, the Super Suite upstairs. Getting ready for a little hockey here. We're not quite there, got a little ways to go, but we have our 14th signing to announce today. It's the defenseman Dan Ford. We get some brains in the operation here, Coach Corbel, out of Harvard University. The defenseman Dan Ford, what do you know about him?
I don't know too much. I know that he went to South Carolina at the end of the year last year. Had to go back to Harvard to finish up his senior year and graduate. And from talking to Ted Denali, liked him a lot. Played a lot of valuable minutes for them. His numbers, doesn't look great on paper, but from what I'm told, he can play in all situations. Moves the puck well. And that logged a lot of minutes for them.
Little size as well. 6'1", they've got him about 195 on the sheet. You guy will usually come in a couple of pounds heavier as well. Very important on the back end to have some. It's really not a heavyweight, but to have some size on the back end.
Yeah, well, I was getting some calls from from defensemen actually that came out of Harvard. So I reached out to Ted Denali. I said, a couple of your players have called me. What are your thoughts? And he recommended Dan above all of them. So it was a good decision for us to kind of scoop him up. And sometimes when the players, I had previous experience with guys that played at Harvard, sometimes at the demands of school at Harvard, the hockey kind of takes a step back. So a lot of times when these kids leave Harvard and get to play in a professional scenario, they start to flourish because they only have to focus on the hockey side of things, and they do very well. So that's where we're holding for Dan.
What do you mean you're not holding those classroom sessions off the ice for these guys out of Harvard? Actually, you'd think there'd be the element as well that they probably have an opportunity, a good job coming out of Harvard,
Right.
But that can wait down the road. Looking at this kid, we talk about some of the hallmarks that you look towards bringing players in. He was a captain at Harvard, and you're always looking, even if you don't expect a rookie to come in and be a captain of a pro team, but by the same token, he's shown that he's got leadership skills.
Well, that's what we're looking to bring in, and that's kind of the qualities I look for when I speak to other coaches, college coaches and junior coaches is, how's their character, our leadership guys in the locker room? Did you have issues throughout the year with the guys? Is there issues with drinking, drugs related, stuff in the community that we need to be aware of? And when we hear great things about, especially a guy like Dan Ford and the hockey abilities there also, we want to scoop those guys up and bring them to ready.
He's your fifth defenseman that you've signed to an ECHL contract, and he's a left shot. And we talk about this from time to time, and I know it's something that I'm not sure if your philosophy has evolved or not. Mine has, personally, where I've come to believe that you're better off having left D on the left side and right D on the right side. It's one of those things that I used to not think it was a big deal, but the more I've watched and observed, particularly on something simple things off the glass and out, it's one of those little elements that you've got to have a balanced defensive core.
Well, that's what we, when we recruit over the summer, that's what we try to do. Is I'm a big believer also having left shot, right shots, and there's little things on the ice that I don't think some people are aware of. And you mentioned one of them, coming off the strong side or making it's a different angle, making a pass on your weak side. Some guys don't feel comfortable on the other side. So last year unfortunately we had two lefties together with Mike Banwell, and sometimes he was a different partner, but it's awkward. It takes some adjustment to play your offside, and some guys like to do it, and some guys definitely don't.
So you do from time to time get D-men who will say, I like playing on my off wing.
Yes, definitely. Well, forwards like to do it also. If you look at a guy like Ovechkin, who likes to come off the offside, I know this year he played the right side, but it's a little easier to cut to the middle of the ice playing your off wing, and a lot of players like to come to the middle of the ice to have opportunities. They don't like to go to the outside either because of his speed, or they're not guys who like to cut to the net because of their size or whatever. So I used to like to come down my offside, but I always preferred playing on the left side though because I was a left shot. But coming down the right side was a little easier to see the ice and make plays.
This kid's out of Harvard. I'm just guessing he's probably pretty sharp. But by the same token, some kids come into the pro game and they feel like, all right, I've really got to prove myself. I've got to do more than I might have ordinarily expected to be done in college. And actually it ends up hurting them in the long run, trying to do more than just playing their game. What advice do you give to a young player, or do you even say anything at all? Do you let them kind of lay their own foundation when they come?
I don't really say much. Usually the only thing I say is don't change what you're all about. Do what you did in college. Show me what your assets are. I'll figure out a role that you're best suited for the team. So, I said make plays, be confident. Don't worry about making a mistake. Just play to your abilities and do what you did for your teams in Harvard. And hopefully you'll be successful for us.
All right, 14th signing of the season for the Reading Royals over the summer. ECHL contracted defenseman Dan Ford out of Harvard University. Coaches, always want to thank you for stopping by for the summer signing series.
I appreciate it, Mark. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, the fans, as well.